Lawrence Mejia of the Pugilist place. We're here in Chino, California. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Alexis De Luna. I'm a professional boxer out of Bakersfield, California, with a record of 9 wins, 0 losses, and 5 KOs.
So you've gotten off to a very impressive start to your career so far. You were scheduled to be on this Red Boxing Promotions card in the main event against the Legacy Camacho. That fight unfortunately fell through. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we found out yesterday that the fight was postponed for a later day. We were ready to go, ready. We were on weight and everything, ready to go, ready to fight. But unfortunately, I guess he had an injury of some sort, and it's just a minor setback that got pushed back to later this month. So yeah, it is what it is. We can't really do much about it, but we're just happy that we're still going to be fighting him later on this year.
Right. So I'm sure you were amped up about performing. He gets pushed back a month. You're still not far removed from being in top physical shape.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you work on during training camp for the fight that was supposed to happen?
I got some pretty good sparring. Usually local, like I sparred my boy in the gym. Mostly him, and then we got some work down in LA at Blue Moon Boxing. I got to spar Adam Lopez and Carlos Balderas, so I got some pretty good work, and we had a good camp. We were ready to do what we had to do and come out victorious, but unfortunately, we still will, but just a little later.
Those are some big names you mentioned.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned that you're from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Do you typically train in LA or do you train in Bakersfield?
Usually we travel to spar just because we don't have as much sparring there in town, so usually we have to travel to spar. But as far as training goes, like my gym, it's in Bakersfield. Yeah.
So you're almost at that 10-0 point in your career. What got you started with boxing?
To be honest, I was just real energetic as a kid, and I remember just watching it on TV as a kid, and because my dad, he would actually work out here in LA. He does he sells like Western wear and boots stuff like that, and he would always get together with his friends, and they'll order the fights, watch the Pacquiao fights, all the Mosley fights and all the Cottos and all that. And I remember as a kid, it just caught my eye. Watching it on TV, it just caught my eye. And my parents, they were already trying to put me in a sport just because I had so much energy as a kid. And boxing was just that, and I remember ever since watching it, I just kept bugging my parents that if they could find a gym for me, and I just kept bugging them. At first, they didn't want to, they're like, no, you're not gonna box, especially my mom, because you know how moms are. But after just begging them, we finally were able to find a gym. It's called the Bakersfield Police Activities League. That's where I started at. I was about 9 years old when I started, so. Yeah.
So you're an energetic kid, you go into a boxing gym for the first time, you get whacked in the face. How do you respond to that? Just the atmosphere. I remember the first time I walked in the gym, it was just packed, and just watching all the kids train, and I was just excited to fight. I remember the first time I sparred, I remember being in class, just so anxious, happy, that it was gonna be my first time sparring, and I actually did pretty good my first time, so yeah, I didn't really get, I felt the punch. I'm pretty sure I did feel. I don't know if you remember, but I remember doing real good that sparring, and I actually got moved up to the advanced class shortly after that. So it's
just naturally came.
So you mentioned Manny Pacquiao. Who were some of the other boxers that you watched coming up in the game?
Mosley, Miguel Cotto, of course Mayweather. Mayweather was probably a big one. He was, when I was growing up, he was fighting everybody, everybody, and that's one reason too. I remember they would always have the Mayweather fight, or the Pacquiao fights, So probably Mayweather and Pacquiao were the biggest names growing up that I watched.
So those two very different fighters. What's one thing that you like of each of their games?
Pacquiao, of course, his footwork, just his speed, and Mayweather, his slickness, his boxing IQ, his defense, of course. So, but that's one thing that I really picked up from both of them. Is Pacquiao from his footwork, his speed, and then Mayweather just his IQ and more, how composed he is in there, more he thinks more, he's slows down the fight basically, So those are two things.
So this fight, before it got canceled, unfortunately for you, was supposed to be here in Ontario, California.
Yeah.
What's a dream venue? As you're moving on in your career, where's a place you would love to fight?
I mean, of course, Las Vegas, that's, where every fighter wants to fight at, like MGM Grand and stuff like that. But
Anywhere, to be honest, you know, just wherever, you know, wherever the promotion or whatever promotion is, you know, wherever the fight, you know, is made, you know. But yeah, for sure, Vegas would probably be a dream place.
Can't match that energy. There's nothing like a big fight in Vegas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Where can fight fans follow you on social media?
Alex De Luna 661 on Instagram, and then on Facebook, I think just Alex De Luna. Just type in Alex De Luna.
Not on Twitter?
No, I actually don't have a Twitter. There's
Come
Twitter
on,
be
get
wild, and I just too much temptation on there, you know.
Boxing Twitter is crazy.
Yeah.
Gotta get on Twitter though for the sports fighters.
I'll probably have to make one. I used to have a Twitter, but I actually deleted it. But I'll probably have to make another one soon.
Especially as you're moving up here.
Yeah.
In your career. Thank you so much for the time. We look forward to fighting.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Next month, we'll see you get back in there for the main event.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you, man.